Okay, it's my turn to talk. I have the talking piece that we're using today. Hi, my name is Alex. I'm 19 years old and I just graduated high school a year ago. It was really hard for me to find a job and I was struggling, and I finally found something to help pay the rent on an apartment for myself and my siblings to stay in. And it was going really well, and then I lost my job and I got really, really desperate. And I would just like to point out, I've never stolen more than a candy bar from a store in my whole entire life, and I tried everything I could think of to come up with this money that I was short to pay rent, and I couldn't. Nobody had loans. My family doesn't have any extra money, so they didn't have any money for me to borrow. I lost my job, so I couldn't take a loan out anywhere, and I had no other option. And I woke up the day that I had to do it, and I felt sick to my stomach. But the only other option was for myself and my siblings to be out on the street, and that thought was more awful than the thought of stealing from somebody. So I woke up that morning and I got dressed, put my siblings on the bus to school, and then I just walked into the shop and I took the only thing that I could think, which was cigarettes that I could actually sell on the street for. And I ended up pushing the cashier, and I felt so horrible about it, but I was just trying to get out of there, and she wouldn't stop trying to stop me, and it just kept escalating, and I panicked and I shoved her, and I felt almost better that I didn't get away with it, because I feel like the guilt would have eaten me alive. I haven't been able to sleep since then. I obviously am facing fines and jail time, and I'm going to have an even harder time getting a job when I get out. And that sounds as terrifying to me. I don't know what's going to happen to my siblings. I'm wrecked emotionally thinking about the harm that's been caused to this shop's family. And I'm financially, I have no idea what I'm going to do. And socially, nobody will talk to me. I used to have a couple friends before this happened, and now they just won't even. They leave the room if I walk in. And I don't really know. I think to heal, I'd like to do some type of community service for this family, whether that's helping clean the shop for a month, or maybe helping stock some of the shelves, to kind of put back what I tried to take. And I feel like it's my obligation to do that, to make the family feel safe, and for me to repair the harm that I did. And really, my desired outcome is for everybody here to understand that I didn't do what I had to do for fun money or for money to go drinking. I did it because I had spent all my money on food, and I wasn't working, and I had no way of paying the rent, and it's freezing cold in January, and I couldn't face the fact of my siblings being on the street. And I just wish that, I hope that everybody here understands that it wasn't an easy choice. It was the hardest choice I've ever had to make. And I really hope that I can repair the harm that I did, because this family deserves it.